So, have you ever had a movie affect you on such a personal level that you couldn't stop thinking about it? Well, A Good Person was one of those movies for me. Hey, I'm Brandon, aka Agent Mushu 3445, and welcome back to another rapid fire mini review. So, what is A Good Person about? Well, A Good Person is a drama film starring Florence Pugh as Allison, a once thriving 26-year-old woman with a bright future ahead of her who becomes involved in a fatal car accident that kills her future in-laws as she's about to go dress shopping for her wedding. A year later, her life spirals out of control and she runs into Daniel, her would-be father-in-law, played by Morgan Freeman. As grief-stricken Daniel navigates raising his teenage daughter and Allison seeks redemption, they discover that friendship, forgiveness, and hope can flourish in the most unlikely places. So what did I think of A Good Person? Well, I was taken aback by how relatable and down-to-earth Allison and Daniel's struggles were, since it felt realistic, and I think a lot of people have gone through similar struggles in their own personal lives. For instance, the past 5 or 6 years, I've personally been involved in a car accident. I lost my second closest friend in the blink of an eye, had my grandma pass away from Alzheimer's, recently got laid off my job, and like everyone else, I dealt with isolation during COVID. But my own personal struggles aside, this is actually what got writer-director Zach Braff to create this movie in the first place.
If I may ask, in your own journey, led you to tell this particular story?
Well, in 2016, my sister had an aneurysm, and they kept her alive as a fraction of herself for about 2 years. Then she finally passed. My father then didn't last much longer, and then we went into COVID and lockdown, and one of my best friends who was living with me at 41 years old got COVID and died. I sat down to write something. I was staring at the blinking cursor, and this is what came out of me. I wanted to write about grief and standing back up from grief, how our lives change in a split second sometimes, and about hope.
Anyways, this movie also has some dark moments as we see that Allison has developed an opioid addiction as she's grappling with a lot of unresolved grief. Meanwhile, Daniel is confronting his past as an ex-cop and a former alcoholic while parenting his granddaughter, who's currently going through her moody teenage phase. Now, even though this movie has some dark moments, they are alleviated by humorous moments that are peppered throughout the movie. Now, if there were any points of criticism I have about the movie, is that it does overstay its welcome a little bit, and some of the dialogue is a bit cheesy at times. However, it's the performances from Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman that really elevate the material and make this movie worth a watch. Because the core of this movie is about two good people who have fallen down and ultimately learn to help each other stand back up and believe in themselves again. Which that's where it usually starts in situations like these, is learning to believe in yourself again. Which is why I think A Good Person is one of the most underrated movies of the year so far. Alright guys, that's it. If you want to check out the rest of the Nightline interview with Zach Braff, that'll be linked down in the description below. Or, if you want to dive deeper into the movie with Zach Braff, I've also provided a link in the description to a video where he talks to one of my favorite YouTube channels, Cinema Therapy. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. That's a wrap.